This video will show an index impression of a 4/6 implant. It's a tissue level implant, which you see here, the analog, as well as an impression post. I like to modify the impression post a little bit by adding some composite to it so that I do not have to bridge between the impression post and the adjacent teeth too much, because then some of the material may flow into the surgical site. So I just added beforehand, judging more or less how much to do, just so that you do not touch the adjacent teeth. It must be free. To ensure that it fits properly, always take a radiograph to make sure that the impression post is actually seated properly, and then use the suction to dry the area, because you can't blow air into the surgical site there. And then once you're ready, you add the composite material onto the adjacent occlusal surfaces, bonding it with the impression post, and you keep strengthening it as is needed. You don't have to worry what it looks like. It's all about the fit. So what I'm doing there now, that'll create a perfect fit on the adjacent teeth and locking in the impression post. Be very careful not to get material into the screw access hole. You may plug this with a Teflon tape or wax just to make sure you don't get material in there. Once this is ready, you need a new study model to work with this. So obviously beforehand, for this kind of case, you would have a study model, and you'll then see how we transfer this index to the study model to make a temporary or provisional crown. So once this is ready and strong enough, you leave it to set hard, and then comes a crucial part where you have to now loosen the screw of the impression post. Make sure that you hear the little click noises indicating that the screw is completely disengaged from the implant, because if not, you're going to find you're going to break the index impression. So loosen it properly, and then I use any surgical instrument that I may have handy, in this case a periostal elevator, just to lift it off the adjacent teeth very carefully, one side then the other side, otherwise you'll break it. And remember that we're busy with a surgical procedure here, so underneath we don't want to contaminate the surgical site, which is why I like to use this. It's a very clean process where material is not pushed into the surgical site. Lift it off, and there you have your impression, index impression, which we will now transfer to a study model that has been removed where the tooth is going to be. This is a different site, but a very similar case. Make sure that the analog is free of the model. Once you have it in position, you lock it in with some freshly mixed plaster or Yellowstone, as in this case. This is the case that we're busy with. So back to our surgical site. Here you see the temporary crown is now being made on such a model where the index was transferred to, and now we've got our provisional crown that we have put inside the mouth. There you can see the sutures. So this is within 48 hours as per the article in the masterclass that you are busy studying. So there the temporary crown is in place. Make sure that the occlusion is adjusted properly, and this gives a beautiful contour to the soft tissue. There's very little chance that you'll damage the soft tissue because the tissue is still very loose. It's only just been cut a day or two before, and it molds very nicely around the temporary crown. You can see the sutures, mesial and distal there of the temporary crown, and this is now how your soft tissue will mold itself to the correct emergence profile. I hope you find this of use. Thank you.